Before we get started with the video today, guys, I want to let you viewers out there know that only a small fraction of you guys currently watching are actually subscribed to my channel, so make sure to smash that subscribe button for instant updates about videos that I release and other announcements, and also smash that like button to help my channel out. Enjoy the video. Yo, what is up, guys? It is Samool here, back with another Epic 7 tier list for you guys today, and today I'm going to be talking about Moonlight 4-star units and how they rank for PvP. So this is going to be a tier list designed specifically for Moonlight 4 stars, and it's only going to be for PvP, guys. There's no PvE considered within these rankings. I'll release another updated tier list for PvE for Moonlight 4 stars in the future. Now keep in mind that this is my own opinion, and you guys are free to disagree or have other opinions. Just let me know down in the comment section below so I can take your input and, apply it to my future tier list that I make in the future, because I do plan to release the same tier list but kind of like updated versions as time goes on. So you'll see like the fall edition, there'll be like a winter edition and so forth, and whenever there's like huge meta shifts, I'll also try to include another tier list as well. Now you'll see that the tiers here are going to be ranked from S to D, and then we have Cleave for another tier because Cleave is in a weird spot at the moment. It's really good when it works, obviously. I mean, that's like everything, right? It's really good when it works and it's really bad when it doesn't. But Cleave, it's either a free win if the defense doesn't have an answer to it, or it's just impossible to cleave sometimes, especially with like Bellion nowadays and Angel of Light Angelica. And you'll also see that there is a haha nice one Smilegate tier. If you guys have been playing the game long enough, you guys probably know which unit's going there, but it is the most broken unit in the game right now, not just for ML 4 stars, but for every unit in general, in my opinion, for PvP. First picked all the time in RTA, and you see it everywhere in defense. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about yet, I'll get to that soon. But I'm pretty sure that some of you guys, if not most of you guys, probably know what unit I am foreshadowing. Now to get started with the tier list, guys, we have Assassin Sid. So Assassin Sid is a very hard unit to rate, okay? Because Assassin Sid for newer players is very bad, because you need to speed contest and you need to be strong enough damage-wise to basically one-shot openers and squish units. It's really not achievable without like endgame gear. So if you have like Assassin Sid on like god tier gear, he's actually S tier, right? Because you can always guarantee first turn. You're always gonna one-shot openers. He's like the best counter pick into like control openers, or even like just speed contesters in general, because of his raw speed and his damage output, right? Especially when you soul burn. And nowadays Bellion's out, so he can't really rely on soul burn as much, although it's still pretty reliable. But yeah, like I said, you need crazy gear. So if you do have the crazy gear, he's S tier. If not, though, I'd put him like in B tier. And for that sake, I'm going to put him in A tier, guys. I know a lot of you guys probably have insane aces, and you're like, this unit's broken, one-shots everyone, super fast and does so much damage. Yeah, but you guys have probably been playing the game for a while if you're at that point with Acid. And yeah, at that point, like, then he's S tier. But for now, he's definitely going to be just A tier. So next, we have Assassin Coley. So Assassin Coley kind of sits in the same role as Acid. It's just that she's not as good because, one, she doesn't drain souls, and two, Acid's CR pushback's just a lot better. Now, if Assassin's Coley actually gets a few turn rotations off, or turn cycles, she actually does more than Acid, but you can't really rely on her to do that. Acid and A Coley are mostly going to be just for like one turn. You're basically using them to delete a unit and then try to get another turn off with their survivability if you can, which is nice. It's really going to be a situation where you can get more than like 1 or 2 turns off. If you do, Assassin Coley is actually pretty decent, right? She's a little bit better than Acid in that, right? But it's really hard to do so, so I'm going to have to put her in C tier just because there's no reason to build her over Acid at the moment. There was a meta where she was like actually decent like a year and a half ago, but Acid just outshines her in my opinion, which kind of sucks because waifu better than husbando in my opinion. So I really wish they had different, if they swap spots, that'd be a lot better, but happens. Next we have A-Cart. So I actually think he's B tier. Now hear me out. He's not like super reliable because his kit is based off of evasion RNG, but you guys already know how it feels to fight against Violets and Rylets on defense. Their evasion chance just feels like it's doubled when they're on defense, especially when you're attacking into it. And that is the same for A-Cart. He gives his entire team evasion. It's just not fun to go against. And currently, if you see him on defense, you'll actually see him paired with Violet and Rylet usually. And sometimes you can actually just get hard owned by RNG and you just get really tilted and you just lose. He's actually like not that bad in RTA either because of the RNG aspect. Any unit that has the RNG aspect in it that's like really you know, the RNG is just like on a skill that's very, very effective, such as like evasion, because your debuffs are going to miss. You're just not going to do damage. You're not going to crit. I can't give him anywhere lower than a C tier. A card's just super annoying. He might not be like strong, but he's just so annoying that I cannot put him anywhere below like at least low B tier. Next we have Alots. So you guys probably already know. A lot of you guys probably pulled him while trying to pull for Rebellion. He's a cleave unit. He just basically goes first. You just build him on full speed, give him Toggle-Hells, you just S2 your cleaver, and then boom, you either win the fight or lose, or yeah, very good book holder, very good cleave set upper. He goes first really fast, easy to build as well. Next we have Bromine, Benevolent Roman. So this guy used to be like A tier, maybe even S tier, like I'd say like half a year ago, but yeah, he's not really seen anymore. I'm going to put him in C tier because control is in a weak spot. He does have some RNG as well. It's just that it's really easy to counter him because you need to build him on effectiveness nowadays as well, because there's so much effect resist running around. You also need him to be fast. You also need him to be tanky because there's so many damage units running around, like Landy, Carrot, right? Kiseis, right, are going to outspeed you and one-shot you and reset you as 10As. There's just so many problems that he has to deal with that it's hard to rate him anywhere above C tier, and for that reason he's in C tier. BBK, so she used to be traditionally a cleaver. Used to set her up for the one-shot S3 Soulburn, but nowadays I think you have better luck building her as a bruiser. So I'm not going to put her in cleave. Now obviously you could put her in cleave because she is a cleaver by design, but a lot of people have been playing around with like Moonlight Dreamblade or Violet Talisman, even Shepherd of Hollow, and you just put her on counter set and make her tanky, and she's actually kind of annoying to deal with. So I'm going to put her in C tier. I do think she's better than Bromine, but I don't think she's as good as a Coley. Next we have Celestial Mercedes. So this unit's actually a cleave unit. She's just like kind of like BBK, but she can also hold a book, so there's other shenanigans you can do, but she's not like too great of a cleaver, so I'm gonna put her at the bottom of cleave at the moment. Cdom, also a good cleaver. She's pretty much tied with Alots. I'm gonna actually put her above Alots because you can slot in a different opener than Alots, but Cdom is very, very unique because she drops the gear requirements of your cleave team, especially if you're running her on like arena offense, and she also can just delete units like instantly, like one shot with the Soulburn S1 does so much damage. She's just kind of an irreplaceable unit in cleave, although I guess you could technically replace her, but she does a job that no other unit in the game can do. Next we have Cesarado. So Cesarado is an easy S. So many debuffs in Cerise and Fairy Tale Tenebria, which are common picks. Angel of Light. Angelica is also a very strong pick at the moment, very, very annoying, but Cesarado counters all of them. He's just good into debuff units, also good into Carrot, right? So he's going to be an S tier unit. He's a very solid bruiser, does decent damage, and he's very tanky. He has a self-defense buff, and his stats are pretty nice for a mage. And you can even put him on Proof of Valor to make him even more annoying to deal with. So he's an easy S tier, very good in offense teams against teams with, you know, debuffs, very good in RTA as a counter pick. Next we have Fighter Maya. She used to be very good, but I don't think she's that great anymore. I'm going to put her slightly above BBK. She's a good RB counter, but there's so many good RB counters out already, like in the game. And also, she has a problem where she needs really good gear, and she needs weird gear. You need her on like super high defense. You need her to have good crit chance and crit damage, and you also need her to be like decently healthy with health, because think about it, there's a lot of true damage in the game now, like defense penetration with Landy S3, Elder Crow S3, and stuff like that. And there's also defense breaks. So defense is slightly weaker than health in terms of actual tankiness in you know, the theoretical sense. So she's actually a little bit squishier than she seems, but she's still okay, I guess. I don't think she's D tier. She's still usable. One of my favorite ML4 units, actually. It kind of sucks that she's not great anymore. Next, we have G-Purge. So G-Purge, easy S tier. I think he is a little bit weaker now than he used to be before. He's like first picked every game, super broken, but he's still very strong. CR push is insanely good. His S3 stun is very OP, and you also get an attack buff. He also does really insane damage with S1. His health scaling on his S1 is actually pretty high. So with attack buff on himself that he can apply with his S3, he actually just does so much damage for like a tanky build. Also has a provoke on his S1 if you get lucky, so very, very strong. Next we have ML Rin. So ML Rin's a good opener. One of the highest base speeds in the game. The only thing is you have to rely on an artifact, RNL. You need it to proc for her to do her job, at least like once in a fight. Also, she kind of struggles because she actually does no damage, and she is susceptible to 15%, and she just kind of does less than other like openers. So she's good at like locking down one target, but that's it. She can steal like immunity and give immunity for your team, and that's pretty much all she's providing, right? So I'm gonna put her in C tier. I think she's a little bit better than what's it called, Fighter Maya. There's no reason to take her over other openers, right? Because like Cerise has like the entire AOE like restrict, speed down, and she has invincibility, so she survives, right? Fairy Tale Tenebria, just really OP S3. The double debuff's just crazy. Also, what's it called? Angel of Light Angelica, obviously silent and unbuffable, and then also strips 2 buffs instead, right? So very, very powerful. So no reason to take her over any of them, but she's still okay as a speed contester, so you can use her if you want, but she's a C tier for me. I'm only really used in RTA. Crimson Armin, S tier, easy, because she is one of the best knights in the game at the moment. It's like her, FCC, and Crow for defensive support knights. Very annoying because if you build her fast enough on defense team, she invincibilities her team. She also has a built-in adamant shield, which makes her team do less damage, and you can just run her on Aureus, and then your team takes even less damage. And she has 100% provoke in her S1 like FCC, so she can lock down units that are not built with effect resist. Just very annoying to deal with. She's very strong on defense teams. You see her a lot in arena defense, Guild War defense even, and RTA, and she's okay on offense as well if you're running like protect the like Landy comp, protect the Rem comp, like SSB auto teams, right? She's a very good slot in, especially if you don't have FCC, because she kind of fits a similar role in mitigating damage. I think she's a little bit better than Cesarado probably, because I think she is more versatile, where Cesarado is more of a counter pick than the others. Great Chief Kawana, I think that's her name. Katie's bot, man, like I know a lot of people tested her because her artwork was really nice, but she's pretty terrible in PvP. She's literally only good for Katie's at the moment, but she's very, very good in Katie's hunt. So for PvE, she's like A or S, but yeah, PvP, she probably needs like an exclusive equipment or something, so she does something more, because her ramp up on her S2 takes way too long, and it's very, very, what's it called? Niche. Next we have Inferno Kawasu. This guy's pretty good, or people call him Ricardo, if you get that joke. I think he's A tier. He's a very good counter pick in RTA, very good in Guild Wars offense, good in arena offense. Yeah, this unit, if you pick him in certain situations, such as like, into a lot of AoE or whatever, and like an AoE opener, like he would just one-shot someone off the game, like instantly. So he becomes like a must ban in some situations, especially for me in RTA. When I see him, a lot of the times I just end up banning him because he legit just one-shot someone at the start of the game. It's kind of annoying. I'll put him in A tier, below Acid, just for that reason. Katie Clarissa, very, very powerful PvE unit, but not as good in PvP, but she's okay. I think she's a decent cleanser. I'm going to put her in C tier, probably below a Coley, because Katie Clarissa is a little bit underrated in PvP. She's actually pretty decent because you can actually do a lot of damage with her if she survives. So she has 4 dual attacks on her S1, and also her S3 has a cleanse, right? The only thing is she has to survive to the second turn, so you can't just like bring her with 3 DPS, right? You need some support to help her live, and then you can, start your dual attack chains. But the thing is, yeah, she's not really great of a cleanser. You can bring cleansers that do more than just force dual attacks, like Amelia, like cycles your entire team, made Chloe revive, attack buff, healing, effect resist, right? Stuff like that. So there's just a lot better options, but she's decent, I'd say, like okay. Troublemaker Crozat used to be S tier. He was like first picked in RTA a lot because he's very good to protect the DPS comps. But people just realize you can just bring certain units into him, such as like F Flurry with Soulburn, very good. LQC, insta win. So used to be like S tier, but I think people figured out how to use him. Put him in B tier now, top of B tier. He's a pretty decent knight. You even see him on defense sometimes. It's just that he's like pretty easily exploitable. Nowadays you can just one shot him with LQC, right? You can even just ignore the backline unit and focus down on Troublemaker Crozat. He's also pretty weak against AoE because he just ends up taking a lot of damage. So B tier. Tempest Cern. So this unit used to be like S tier, like top 3 S tier. But with the meta and changing, FCC is a little bit weaker now, right? Because of all the counters. Also, like, there's better units out that have like double attacks. Like you see Spectre Tenebria running around who can hit twice in one turn with Soulburn. Same with Landy. You see top model Luluka just Soulburns onto Tempest Cern. She's dead. It's a lot harder to use. I don't think she's like B tier, but I think she's like A tier. I think she's probably above Inferno Kawasu because she does see more usage. Although this season I haven't really seen her like too much, if at all, to be honest. But I run her on defense for some Guild Wars teams sometimes when I feel like putting her in, and she does a decent job. She actually gets me a lot of wins on defense. Also in Arena, you can use her with FCC, and she's pretty strong. She just has fallen off in the meta a bit. RTA, you can't really pick her without FCC either, so hard to use her nowadays, but she's still a very strong unit. She has the one-shot potential with the Gab and Soulburn S3 to just one-shot like everyone, not everyone, but all squishies in the game, so very, very powerful if you do get that proc and you draft her in the right situations. Watcher Shuri, cleave unit, he's very good in one-shot teams for A13 KDs, if not required. And in cleave, he's pretty decent because he's a good single target cleaver. Not the best though. I don't think he's nearly as good as Awots or Sidom, but Watcher Shuri is better than Celestial Mercedes for sure, and he is pretty good at deleting single target units. Yeah. Angel of Light, Angelica. So yeah, this unit was a mistake. So I actually got lucky and pulled her within like 40-50 pulls on the Spez banner and did not pull Spez at all. And then I got really close to Pity and I could pull Bellion after. But yeah, this unit's a mistake because there was no pity. So I think Smilegate's releasing OP ML 4-stars because you can't pity them. So they actually make more money that way because you can't reliably get them. And this unit just counters everything. Like counters initiators. You can build her super fast. She counters cleave. She can cleave. She's good against bruisers because she has a mechanic where she laps super fast and can push back your CR and perma silence you. Also, she has a skill nullifier that activates on her passive and cleanses her team. Yeah, fun. Very, very fun. If you have this unit, build her ASAP for PvP. She's the most broken unit in PvP at the moment in the game. And I think a lot of people will agree with me. And I actually expect her to get nerfed. They haven't really nerfed units in a while, but I really expect this unit to get nerfed. Or they should nerf her, right? Maybe they won't nerf her. Maybe I don't really expect them to nerf her, but she needs to be, like, she should be nerfed, right? She's just so OP, and it's really unhealthy for the game, in my opinion. Sinful Angelica, very good extinction unit. Only really used in PvP as a counter to like Maid Chloe, Ruel, stuff like that. You can use her in cleave as well in offense for the attack buff. She's good with the speed buff as well for like Green Villager if you use them as a cleaver. I'm gonna put her in top of B tier, maybe even bottom A, but top of B for now because she's really powerful. She's a really budget counter to like RB and Maid Chloe and like Ruel's. Actually, I would put her in A tier just for that reason because you see a lot of RBs on defense in lower tiers because that's everyone's best unit. You can just slot her in. Actually, yeah, put her like here. I think, especially for like newer mid-game players, I think she's actually a really high value if you get her actually. Just set her up as your attack buffer in your cleave team and you can just hit every single RB defense in the game. Shadowrose, so yeah, she's like an okay defense breaker, so I'm gonna put her in cleave, but somewhere around here. You only really use her in cleave, that's it. Shooting Star Acades. So this unit is weird. So you can use her with like Kayron or like Ludwig and you just give someone perma invincibility and stuff like that. But it's like super niche and in RTA it'll never work. And on offense teams you have to like scroll through like a million teams to find the team that'll work because like every unit in the game has strip nowadays. So I'm going to put her in D tier. I think she's a little bit better than Great Chief Kwana because technically you can make her work if you wanted. So yeah. Wanderer's Silk. Man, I think she's also around here. Maybe even better than SSK. I don't even know. I never see her, but all I know is like she has like Seer pushback or something, or maybe that's Green Silk. Yeah, I hardly even know what Wanderer's Silk does because I never see her. But all I know is she's really squishy. Her base stats suck, and if I don't really know what her skills do anymore, that's kind of a bad sign. I've never seen her in my life in RTA on defense anywhere. So yeah. Man, Bomb Leo. So Roaming Warrior Leo, right? Everyone thought he would be really nice since Summertime Hysteria is coming out with the bomb mechanics, right? Unfortunately, he kind of sucks, so I guess I'll put him in top of D tier because he still kind of can work. But the thing is, like, he's still really bad. He needs more buffs. He probably needs, like, an exclusive equipment to help his kid out. Blaze Dingo. So Blaze Dingo's okay. I think in early game PvP is actually pretty decent, but later on when people start, you know, getting better gear, they can actually just one-shot your Blaze Dingo because he's kind of squishy. He's like a Soul Weaver that relies on getting attacked, but you also need to build him tanky, right? And have some effect resist if you can. So, man, I'm going to put him in like C tier. I think he's like around here. Yeah, I think this is like about right. He kind of fits a similar role to BBK on the Bruiser Lifesteal counter set where they like kind of are annoying and heal a lot, but he just, yeah, I think he's more suited for PvE. Guider Aether. I'm going to put him in D tier as well because he's a Soul Weaver that scales with attack, so those are really hard to make use of. Stat requirements are just way too high, so put him like right here probably. I honestly haven't seen him at all either. Free Spiriteria, she's a PvE dog walker, used in some one-shot hunt teams as well. But for PvP, you're gonna mostly use her just early game if you have gear on her as like a cleave like support unit with her S2. Otherwise, she's pretty trash, so I'm gonna just put her in cleave because you're only gonna ever use her with her S2 cleaving, but her S2 does no damage, so she'll be at the bottom of cleave. She's probably like a D tier unit to be honest. I think like in this cleave tier, like probably Shadowrose, Celestial Mercedes, and Free Spiritea could be like D tier. Maybe Shadowrose is like C tier, so yeah. So that's pretty much it for my Epic 7 Moonlight 4-star PvP tier list. If you guys have any differing opinions, let me know down below in the comment section. I appreciate all your opinions, whether it be good or bad. I always take it into account for my future tier lists, and I would love to hear your opinion as well. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out my channel a lot, and I'll see you guys next video, and hopefully with the tier lists coming soon. Thanks. Peace.